Well, Apple's WWDC kicks off next Tuesday. It's expected to bring a slew of changes to the software that powers the tech giant's devices. And of course, Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley here with the details in this week's tech support. Dan, WWDC Worldwide Developers Conference. Did I nail that?
You got it. You got it. You got it.
What will those Worldwide Developers Conference on next week?
They'll be conferencing about a lot of things. So basically, this is Apple's big showcase for all of their software that they're going to roll out in the next year or so. So the main thing to look at is what's going to happen to the iPhone. That's with iOS 16. Right now we're on iOS 15. We're going to be on iOS 16 come the new iPhone, but we get a preview of what's going to happen when the new iPhone comes out in September. So just to give you some basic ideas, we're going to get a new lock screen. That's part of the changes. It's going to be basically allow you to look at items, widgets on the lock screen when your phone is sleeping. So it'll be an always-on display. That could be something that really improves the battery life over time, or we could see battery life improvements to power that. The iPhones now have OLED displays, so if it's all dark and they just use something like a white background for that kind of text that we would see on that lock screen, then that would be easier to use on the battery. So that's going to be something that we could see on the lock screen. There also could be new changes to the refresh rate on the screen. They could cut the refresh rate. That would end up saving battery life. And with iPad OS, we could also see some changes with multitasking. So iOS, iPad OS, they're basically the same thing, except iPad OS is on iPads. There's some differences there, especially with that multitasking feature, but we still should be able to get better multitasking with iPad OS. And then we're also going to get changes to Watch OS. That's going to be a new low power mode, new faces, new health features, things like pill tracking and women's health, and then new workouts. That's part of the big thing. That's something that I really care about because I use my Apple Watch for working out all the time. So, and if I don't track it, then it doesn't count. And then why did I work out?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Why did I work out? I didn't track it.
Outside the office, I just tap it to make sure I'm getting my steps in.
Yep.
I realize this is a developer conference, right? So the focus is going to be on the software. But I wonder if we could get hints for potential hardware. And I'm talking specifically about the headset that has been teased out long enough. Could we get potential hints on a timeline for that?
There's the possibility, right? There's been rumors that we could see software from the headset, so that's going to be called Reality OS, if all of the reporting is accurate, which I assume it is. That's going to allow them to power that headset that's been long rumored. It's supposed to be an AR, VR headset. Chances are we're not going to see the hardware, but we could maybe possibly see the software.
Someone will have to open up the code and like figure. I feel like every WWDC that's how it goes.
That's what they did that with iOS 15. They opened up the code and they saw it for the App Store actually, and that's how people found out that was the name. But what we could see as far as hardware is new Macs and the new M2 chip. So the M1 chip was Apple's own processor that they made. They started slotting it into their laptops, their desktops, their iPads. It's phenomenal, right? The battery life on it is absolutely bonkers. It has great power. The M2 is supposed to be an upgrade on that. So hopefully that means even more power, even better battery life. And this would really stick it to Intel, which basically Apple is just trying to poke them in the eye here and say, you know, we managed to do this. We can keep going with our own processors and provide better products than you guys could with yours.
They basically drove the knife in already.
Yeah.
Is this the first in-person WWDC? Was it
since
remote?
The pandemic? Yeah,
it was remote last
there's going to be some in-person aspects to it and some remote aspects to it, but people will be able to stream it online for sure.
I feel like you've convinced me to wait to upgrade my laptop.
I mean, look, you know, it really
the keyboard is really bad. We complain about this.
They updated that already.
Yes, they fixed the keyboards.
I'm still dealing with an older.
I mean,
laptop.
I have one right now with the space bar that doesn't work, and my E, C, and R keys have just completely disappeared. And
it looks like I'm hammered every time I send a message.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just my I's and my R's are all over the place.
But I do think that if we get a new piece of hardware outside of computing, or outside of the headset or those processors, it would be a new MacBook Air. So that could be something to really look forward to. And I think a lot of people want that.